Where am I? Back on YouTube? Well, I guess I am. Well, since I'm here, let me explain where I was. Simple answer is that I took a break. But enough about me. Here's everything that happened in the 1.5 months that I was away in row racing. In short, 2 new racing games were released. Superblox Racing released into open alpha again. Project Trackday had 2 new tracks released, one of which turned out to be stolen and is now off the game. We finally got news about Formula Racing's development and where its owner has been, and like that all wasn't enough, IFR developers finally gave us what should have been there in the first place, a new revamped race mode that includes qualifying sessions. I know, that is a lot to handle, but don't worry, big old Raw Arthur is gonna take you through everything step by step. I need to stop making jokes, it's clearly not working. Let's start with all the new releases. NR Thunder is a NASCAR game which was received pretty well, although a lot of people complained about its understeering nature of the cars. I did my research and turns out the owner actually wants it to be like that. He doesn't want people wall gliding and instead they want people to release the gas and wait for the car to turn. But it is really well made. It has a working fuel tank, tire wear and slipstream, not to mention the protective screens that rise up once the car is spinning. Next up we have Redline Autosport. The game was not received very well when it first launched, primarily because of the amount of the bugs it had, but since then a lot of bug fixes have been made and they are really close to releasing their next content update. How do I know? I'm a UI designer for them and you should see my work inside the game very soon. And last but not least, a game that is in open alpha, Superblox Racing. The game is honestly insane, it contains everything and I mean everything. From functional AI with changeable difficulty to car upgrades, different pieces of clothing, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. I wouldn't be surprised if that by the time it releases it could be one of the best F1 games on Roblox. But enough about new games. Let's talk about a game that has been out for a while. It has built the reputation of being the most realistic racing game on Roblox, and to be honest, they deserve that title. If you haven't guessed which game I'm talking about so far, it's Project Trackday. But this isn't some kind of advertisement. It's something that, while I'm glad the team came clean with, shouldn't have happened in the first place. A few days ago, a developer from Project Trackday made an announcement that their newly released track, Silverstone, contained stolen assets. The original owner of the track was sarcastic and there was a lot of back and forth discussion and arguing until both parties came to a conclusion that the track was indeed stolen. They made a public announcement and removed Silverstone immediately until further notice, and I don't expect it to be back anytime soon. I wouldn't know this if it wasn't for my friend Fexalan, who made a very detailed video about it, so if you want to know more in depth what happened with screenshots of the conversations, go watch his video. I will have linked it in my description. Enough with all that drama. I'm sure all of you have been dying to know what's happening with FR and why its development is going so slowly. A few days ago, Yi, the owner of the game, announced that he was hospitalized and was almost killed. He didn't specify what happened exactly, but we all wish him a fast recovery, both emotionally and physically. He announced that he's ready to get back to work, which means we should be getting updates very soon, hopefully. And last but not in any way least, IFR devs finally gave us a revamped race mode. What I mean by that is we now have qualifying sessions, which means that you don't have to get the best responding mice in order to be on pole. You should just get a cheat instead and make sure you're always on pole. Yes, IFR devs, you need to fix your anti-cheat. But jokes aside, I'm glad we finally have a proper race mode. But that's not all. With the new beta came a new penalty system that is similar to Gran Turismo 7's one. It basically allows you to cut 3 times and on the 3rd time, you have to slow down at one of the however many slowdown points there are on a track. They are usually placed before straights. At the time of recording this video, the only track that has this system is UAE. We have no idea whether this will be included in the full game, but I'd like to see it in the main game. Oh, and before I forget, we finally have a working fuel tank, which should make races and qualifying sessions more interesting. But that's pretty much everything that happened in the 2 months I was away. It feels like the last time I worked on an outro was an eternity ago, but I'm glad I'm back. I hope you are too, cause some good content is heading towards your way, so subscribe, do not miss a thing. But until then, stay safe and bye-bye. enough with all that drama. I'm sure all of you have been dying to know what is happening with FR's development and why its development is going so slowly. Oh my god, I said the same shit twice.